Hello everybody and welcome once again to my channel. My name is Jack. My band is called Mera, and if the algorithm has found you, then that means you are passionate about grunge music. If you want to give us a listen, all of our songs are right here on YouTube, my music videos. You can stream it on Spotify or wherever you stream your music. And I appreciate it very much, and I thank you for doing that. But what I want to talk about here today is my favorite singer, songwriter, probably one of yours as well, and that's Kurt Cobain. Now, Kurt is one of those artists that found a great deal of success pretty early in his life and early in his career. And a lot of people have this misconception that in the music industry or in any sort of entertainment industry, you've got to be young. It's something you've got to start doing at a young age. And if you reach a certain age, then it's too late, right? It's too late for you. But I really want to question that. And I also want to question what exactly success means and whether it's something that matters. Kurt Cobain is someone who achieved pretty much what we all want, right? A lot of people may not realize this, but Kurt Cobain was actually a really competitive person. He didn't seem competitive because he kind of had this attitude like, corporate rock still sucks, corporate magazines still suck, but he was actually a really competitive person. And I know this because I've spoke to his manager, Danny Goldberg, and he told me that he was an extremely competitive person. He paid attention to how many albums Pearl Jam was selling or how many albums Soundgarden was selling. And he wanted success. He was on an independent label. They were on Sub Pop, and they signed to DGC because he wanted mainstream success. So everything he wanted, he got it. He got that success. So why wasn't that enough? Kurt was 27 years old when he passed away. He's part of that very disturbingly named 27 club, like it's this prestigious club like that you want to be in and you're immortalized, but like 27, man, that's so young. Jim Morrison or Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix or Kurt, like sometimes things can come to you in life when you're not ready for it. You're not mature enough, maybe, or maybe it's just not the right time for you to handle it. Sometimes it's great to learn piano at 3 years old or 9 years old or whenever, 18. But sometimes inspiration to do the art that you want to do, to play music, to start writing music, sometimes that comes later in life. And you know what? That's okay. That sometimes that's exactly when it's supposed to happen. Because with age comes other certain advantages, like, for instance, your work ethic. Your passion might be stronger. Your learning curve might be greater. You might learn at a faster pace than you would have when you were 9 or when you were 18 or when you were 22. One of the most common blocks to going forward with a music career is I'm too old. I'm too old to do that. Well, what exactly is too old, right? Some people would say, hey, you know what? I'm 40 years old or I'm 50 years old. If I learned how to play the piano, if I started taking piano lessons now, do you know how old I'll be by the time I get good? You know what my answer is to that? Yeah, I know exactly how old you'll be. You'll be exactly as old as you'd be if you didn't. You'll be the same age, whether you start learning now or not. In 10, 20, 15 years, you'll be the same age. So why not start now? Now's the perfect time. You may actually have learned things in the past 10, 20, 30 years that you didn't have that are going to help you be a better singer, a better songwriter, a better drummer, a better guitar player. I just started playing drums 3 years ago. And the drums have never been my instrument. My instrument is guitar. I'm mainly a singer-songwriter. So yeah, just go ahead and get started now. Now's the perfect time. Now is the perfect age. I mean, if you want to talk about age, let's take a look at the Grammys and 2 bands that won a Grammy this year. One of them was the Beatles, with two members of that band aren't even alive anymore. And the Rolling Stones won Best Rock, I think they won Best Rock Album of the Year. The Rolling Stones, they're in their 80s. Now, I know the Rolling Stones have been famous, and they did get fame early on, but still, to be in your 80s and to make a record good enough to win a Grammy, I mean, that says something right there. And I know, like, who cares about the Grammys? I personally don't care about the Grammys very much either, but I'm going to be honest with you. This year, the Grammys had some pretty good nominees. I mean, for Best Alternative, we had Fontaine's DC. You had Kim Gordon getting nominated for a Grammy. And also, you had Charlie XCX getting nominated for tons of Grammys. That was the best that was legitimately the best album of 2024, in my opinion. So yeah, there is a certain amount of prestige, I think, to the Grammys. And I think that it does say something about your music, even though to me personally, winning a Grammy or winning any award doesn't really mean anything. At least it doesn't mean success. At least not to me. You know, Charlie XCX has been around for a hot minute too. Like, her success to a lot of people is going to seem like overnight success, and maybe she seems really young, but she's 32 and she's been making records professionally since 2008. That's 17 years that I'm not going to say she was was squandering in obscurity, but she should have been famous 15 years ago. Well, she got it now. Now is the perfect time. She's ready for it. She's ready for that success. And you can tell by her confidence and by how her music has grown, because she was making good albums before, but now she's not only making great albums, she's making the best albums. And speaking of the Grammys, speaking of winning awards, well, what exactly does success mean to you? I mean, you know, I personally don't think winning awards is success. So what exactly is success for you? Well, only you can answer that question, but I can give you my opinion of what I think success truly is. To me, you know, life is so short and life is so precious. And, you know, last year I lost 2 very important people in my life. I lost my cat, Monster, and I lost my best friend. His name was Eric. And that sent me into a deep downward spiral. I stopped making music. I couldn't even pick up my guitar, much less write a song or record it. And I forgive myself for doing that, but I regret it, because I wish I would have just showed up and done the work, even if it was bad work, even if it was miserable work. I wish I would have just shown up and done it, because to me, what that made me realize is success is 2 things. Success is consistency, and success is commitment. So when you combine those 2 things, you have a commitment to consistency. And that's what success is. Because even if you don't win that award, even if you don't get signed to that major label, you don't get all those followers, you don't go viral, even if none of those things happen, you're still successful because you showed up every day, and you can look at yourself in the mirror and know you've done the work, because it's right there. You can't take that away. No one can take that away. The proof is right there. You've got the work to show for it. Whatever that is, whether that's finding 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day to sit down, play guitar, write a song. Because you see, at the end of the day, we don't control success. We don't control whether we get signed to a major label. We don't control whether we go viral. We don't control how many subscribers we get, or whether our song gets streamed on Spotify. We don't control that. But what we do control is our consistency. We control our output. We are in control of our habits. We control our habits. And when you make a habit of showing up and doing the work on a consistent basis, you will see success. If nothing else, you will have a prolific body of work that's going to be here. Let's face it, once you're on YouTube, once you're on social media, it's going to live forever. And who knows, down the line, someone's going to hear it. You never know. Someone is going to hear your song and they're going to feel what you felt, and it might heal them. You could heal somebody. Think about that. Healing somebody in the future that you've never even met, never will meet. Bro, that is success. I'm sorry. That's success. So I'm wishing you the strength and the power and the blessing of waking up every day, showing up at the easel or at your computer or at the piano or whatever it is you want to do, whatever you want to make. You sit down with a pen and paper and you work for however long you can, and you make it a daily habit to be consistent and make a commitment to be consistent. Because it's going to take some strength, I know, and you're going to have to be good to yourself. You're going to have to forgive yourself if you miss a day and you go a weekend and you party and whatever you do, and you forgive, just say, hey, you know what? That was that. I forgive myself. Time to get back to work. But whatever it is you do, if you're a singer, if you're a songwriter, you're a drummer, whatever it is you do, I want you to go forward with grace and gratitude for your talents. And I want you to show the world your greatness. Because believe me, you are great. Thank you so much.